This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Industry Focus.
John Thompson, the chairman and CEO of Thompson Industries, specializes in B2B, business to business, referring to transactions between companies that don't involve consumers.
I went into Mays Chemical as a chemical industry executive and thought, that I'd be in the chemical industry for the rest of my life. But business is always bifurcated, trifurcated, broken down into 10, 12 different components. What do I mean? Well, at Mays Chemical, we were distributing chemicals. So right there, that's two major things. One is the chemical industry. The other is distribution. I was a B2B industrial marketing guy. I sold, and I still today, I do better when I'm selling to other businesses, not to consumers. I'm not a B2C guy. I invest in B2C companies, but that's not my skill set. And it's not one that I'm trying to develop. So I don't operate any business to consumer businesses. So when I left Mays Chemical after 17 and a half years, I was still a chemical industry guy. My Rolodex was full of chemical industry connections, but I was also a distributor selling to businesses. A pipe, valve, and fitting distributor came up for sale, Mutual Pipe and Supply. It was at that time, I've been at Mays 17 and a half years. I'm in my mid-40s, and I'm like, if I'm going to start a business, it's now or never. Didn't need to, had a lot of success at Mays, could have retired and not worked anywhere, because we had a lot of success, and I do mean a lot. But I don't ever plan to retire. I plan to cut back, get rid of deadlines, but retirement is not something that I plan to do. I said, well, it's now or never, so I bought that particular company in 2001. I added electrical supplies and underground supplies to that company, which I enjoyed quite a bit. The electrical supply business grew fastest. I used equity to recruit some talent. I wanted some talent that had grown up in the electrical supply business. With a new company, I couldn't afford to pay them. So we used equity to recruit them. Now, they paid for the equity, but made it available at a reasonable price. And I encourage folks to do that. You don't have to keep all the equity. You can use it to attract talent. Anyway, the electrical business grew very rapidly. Next year, 2000, before we even spun off the electrical business, I invested in an engineering design firm, full service engineering design. And I was an investor, but I didn't own controlling interest. And then over time, I bought control of that business, and then I bought 100% of that business. So today, I own 100%. By the time I owned 100%, that was last year. By the time I owned control, it was 2007. A millwork company, wood, solid surface like Corian, plastic laminate company to produce like this desk, came up where I could buy controlling interest in it. So in 2008, I bought controlling interest in that business. And so at that point, in 2008, I owned 51% or more of 4 companies. And then I've bought other companies and merged them with those companies. And then all the while attracting very talented people. And that's how I've grown with talented people. So I'm always on the lookout for very skilled, very talented people. And that's how I'm able to do all the things that I do, because I have a lot of talented folks around me. And they have a fair amount of autonomy. I don't try to micromanage them. They don't work on something all day and then I'm gonna parachute down out of the blue, don't know anything about it and say, oh no, don't do that, do that. No, they know more about it than me. So I let them make the decision. I'll coach, and say, hey, you might consider this as you're making that decision. But I try not to second guess my managers. Then there are a lot of things that I do, selling at a high level to customers, dealing with the bank in terms of getting financing in place and dealing with legal. And then, as I said, working with customers at a high level often.